decks, I think, in the top 16. Which, okay, so either Cavern of Souls scared away the control decks or successfully defeated them, yeah. Or more likely a mixture of both, because I know there were some control decks. I know Adrian Sullivan played blue-white control to 23rd place, and he's pretty impressed with his deck. He feels like it needs some changes, but he's on to something, and I'm excited to kind of explore that particular list. But yeah, so no control decks in the top 16, but Delver is still going strong, and here it is right here in the semifinals in the hands of Andrew Tenjum. So,
Greg Pino with a higher Swiss record, he's going to get to be on the play, and he has a turn 1 Bird of Paradise.
And there is my favorite Zendikar Island.
And Andrew Tenjum has that turn 1 Delver.
It's my favorite flip card. It's also my favorite Birds of Paradise art. These guys are just playing to me. I mean,
just playing a win
for my affections.
Stranglergeist. That's also some pretty cool Stranglergeist art.
It is. I actually prefer the other art. So, Greg, you know, sorry.
Ooh, and Andrew flips his Delver on turn 2 off a Mana Leak. That's just the most brutal thing when that happens.
It really is. And in with the Insectile Aberration. Greg now at 17 to Andrew's 18.
Yeah, now Greg has a few different options here. He could pay the full cost for a... yeah, he knows this is getting countered. Just going to get in for 2. So I guess he'd rather have the Metamorph than the Hellrider.
Yeah. Attempts to cast a Hellrider, gets Mana Leaked. And again, Andrew in with the Delver.
Yeah, and now, 14 to 16. And the difference between swing for 3 turns, swing for 2 turns, is pretty big. Yeah. That's the problem with Delver.
Difference.
You know, yeah.
That's the problem with Delver, is that it's
well, it's just a 1 mana, 3 power thing, and then you can just kind of lean on them with that and counter their spells. And even when they're getting to be on the play and successfully cast their 2-drop, they're still getting outraced by your 1-drop.
Right. So Andrew gets his own Geist on the board, but it's Geist of St. Traft. Greg has the Phyrexian Metamorph to deal with it. Gets in with his Strangleroot Geist and passes back to Andrew. So we're back to pretty much the same board state as last turn.
Yeah, but at this point, like, Greg only has 2 cards left in his hand.
And Andrew is pondering. He sees land, Mana Leak, land, or was it ponder, Mana Leak, land? He's doing a good job of hiding behind his life total there. Oh, and he flips him around. Well, whatever it was, he's shuffling him away. So I thought it was land, Mana Leak, land.
And now, this is one of the things that makes Delver so dangerous, is that it can operate optimally with so few lands in play. Here we have Greg with 4 lands and a Birds in play, and he only has 2 cards left in his hands. And the only pressure he really has is a Strangleroot Geist. Yeah. Meanwhile, Andrew's still winning the race, even though he has, he has 2 less permanents on the board, and he's still winning the race. And he has 3 more cards in his hand than his opponent.
I was watching yesterday while I was on a break. You guys were covering Andrew versus Ken Burrell, I think. The blue-white blink deck, right? And Andrew must have flipped his Delver pretty early in that game, and I think a friend was like, "Man, all day you've been flipping his Delver." He's like, "Better lucky than good," and here he does it again in the semifinals. Flips his Delver, turn 2, Mana Leak.
It's a good deck to run well with, too.
Yeah. All right, Zealous Conscripts from Greg Pino. Andrew could have had a Mana Leak off of that Ponder, but shuffled it away, so...
It gets to attack for 8.
Yeah,
Conscripts... And that's going to put Andrew down to 6 here.
Conscripts steals the Delver. Swings in with everything. Yeah, knocking Andrew from 14 to 6.
He's going to go ahead and dismember the Zealous Conscripts. So that's actually going to...
knock him down to 2.
Well, he didn't take the damage from the Zealous Conscripts now.
Okay.
So he's just at 5.
I see. Okay.
But that Zealous Conscripts, it creates big swings.
Yeah, now Greg is clearly winning the race.
But again, I don't think Greg has any. He doesn't have anything left in his hand. He's just a forest. Meanwhile, Andrew, his hand is pretty stacked. He's Snapcaster, Mage, Vapor Snag.
Yeah, I mean Greg's winning the race right now, but Andrew's got the goods to change those numbers.
And Greg destroying another land, not what he wants to see. Oh no, he found a birthing pod. That's actually quite good.
Birthing pod, yeah, that's going to do some damage. So what does he have the birthing pod into? We know that he's got blade splicers, which is probably the next stop up the chain. Yeah, that's really it as far as 3-drops go. So
and I mean, with his opponent at 5, he may just want to sacrifice the birds and get another Stronger Geist.
yeah, that's another option. I'm thinking right now is.
Well, I think Andrew's in...
Did the birthing pod even resolve? That's what I'm think it did, but
it did.
So yeah, it definitely did. Okay, so he's gonna go. See, I like this plan. So he sacrifices the Strangleroot Geist to get a bigger Geist and the Blade Splicer.
Yep.
Adding a lot more. He adds another power to the board in the form of just the Strangleroot Geist plus another 1 there with the Blade Splicer plus another 3, so he adds 5 power to the board just through that activation without actually losing any creatures.
Yeah, now, I mean, here I'm pretty sure that Andrew's just going to
block.
Yeah, just going to Vapor Snag the Strangleroot Geist,
Or
put Greg
he
down to 7.
he could
on his end step he can Snapcast a Vapor Snag the Golem token, and then he puts himself in a pretty good position.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I was thinking he could Flash and Snapcaster to trade with the Strangleroot Geist, Vapor Snag. Yeah.
Yeah,
he could
just wins the race, I think.
Yeah. See, so this is.
So game 1 in the other semifinal match, Mason was able to take that down. He apparently had an army of Strangleroot Geists and Hellrider to go with it.
Yeah, so I think Andrew's doing exactly what I was thinking. He Vapor Snags the Golem token first, flashes in Snapcaster, flashing back Vapor Snag to bounce. I think he's thinking. I think he's going to block the Geist because that'll get rid of it. But now he's thinking he doesn't really want to bounce bouncing the. Yeah, he's going to block the Geist. I don't think he hasn't flashed back the Vapor Snag yet. He doesn't have to. He can do it at the end of the turn. Now he's going to do it. Now I guess bounce the bird.
Yeah.
Because okay, I like that. Because that just gets rid of the Geist. He doesn't have to deal with it again. Because bouncing the Geist is actually terrible when you think about it. Because he just replays it, and it's fresh and it has haste. And it's still got its Undying trigger. Also, the double Vapor Snag knocked Greg from 8 to 6, and now Greg is going to go to 3 from a hit from Delver.
An important difference. So here we are with a Geist of Saint Trap. Now, even when Greg replays that bird, he's not going to be able to.
He's not going to be able to block everything. Yeah.
No.
So birthing pod up the chain to a 4-drop. So he's going to get a. Does he have another Metamorph to get? He only has 1 in the deck. So it's Huntmaster. Huntmaster of the Fells. Still. Now he's at least given himself another turn because he can take the Delver hit or the Angel hit, chump block with the birds,
Well, he's just gonna shoot the Delver down.
Oh, that's right. He didn't play any spells. I forgot about the fact that Birthing Pod.
Birthing Pod's pretty good with that card.
With Huntmaster, yeah. So upkeep, Huntmaster flips, and Faith Shield from Andrew Tenjum will save his Delver from the Ravager of the Fells. And now Greg did not play the birds, and I think that that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like how Greg made him get the angel token. He's like, get the angel token. Okay, now you. As soon as you put the token.
Now that I see.
Yeah, see, like, so my line of play was to play the Huntmaster and play the birds, and then it gives him another turn. But yeah, like, I understand why he decided. I think he made the right call. He didn't predict the Faith Shield there. I think it's just like a 1-of. Oh, it's a 2-of Faith Shield there in Andrew's deck. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we're about to give away 6 free months of Star City Premium.
Yeah. Trying to think of a question, unless you've got one.
Sure.
You got a question? All right. So,
now,
let's explain this for those of you guys who haven't played before. We give away 6 months of free premium to a random trivia winner, a random person with the correct answer. All you have to do is tweet your answer in with the hashtag SCGPremium. I'm getting a little bit better at this. It's right there. There we go.
Yeah. Right around here.
Yeah. So, just get on Twitter, put that hashtag in your tweet, and put the correct answer. A random winner will get 6 months of free premium, Star City. So 6 months from now, that's November.
You'll be getting ready for Thanksgiving.
We'll be in Ravnica. We'll have returned to Ravnica.
Awesome.
Man, I'm so jealous.
6 months we're going to have returned to Ravnica already.
I'm so jealous of whoever wins.
Oh my gosh!
And
Diablo 3 is coming out.
Premium
it's
expires.
Like the best time ever.
I love the fall. We can just skip over summer.
I
do want to see what's in M13, but I can just look at that, and we just skip to the fall. I'll look back at M13. So,
well, Avacyn Restored just came out, so we have a new set to work with right now.
Yeah.
And one of the most talked about cards in Avacyn Restored is Cavern of Souls. Cavern of Souls. Last weekend we saw there were 4 copies of both of the decks that made it to the finals, and this week. We saw a number of Cavern of Souls throughout the day yesterday, but I'd like to know how many copies of Cavern of Souls actually broke into this top 4.
Good question.
Yeah.
How many copies of Cavern of Souls made the top 4 of SCGMAD?
Yeah. So does somebody have 4 copies and nobody else has any? Does everybody have 4 copies?
Yeah. You got to go through the deck list and count up all the copies. Make sure you include sideboards. Look closely. So, That's the trivia question.
Yeah.
So do you think Greg sides in his 4 Cavern of Souls? Just kidding.
I'll go ahead and give away that Greg doesn't have any Cavern of Souls in the sideboard.
Oh, look at that. Helping the players out. I guess you're such a nice guy. All right, so these guys sideboarding.
Greg definitely gets to bring in 2 Pillar of Flames.
I think he brings in the Metamorph too, the additional Metamorph. Being able to Birthing Pod to deal with Geist, that would have been nice there. He did deal with the first Geist with a Metamorph that he just happened to have in hand. Second Geist, he had to Metamorph into a Huntmaster, which would have answered the Delver, to be fair, but Faith Shield is certainly just not a fair card. It doesn't play fair.
Completely unfair.
It's broken.
It's interesting though. Andrew Tenjum was at exactly 5 life thanks to the Gitaxian Probe. And that let him turn on like all modes of that Faith Shield and kind of made him have that game locked up 2 turns before.
Yeah.
Like I said, once I saw he had the Faith Shield in hand. Didn't want to really spoil it for everybody at home.
Oh, you saw it. I didn't happen to notice it.
All right, Greg leads things off with a turn 1 Avacyn's Pilgrim. And Andrew again with the turn 1 Delver.
Better lucky than good. Turn 1 Delver. Let's see if he flips it.
Yeah. He does flip it on turn 2 again.
With a, what was it?
Was it a Mana League again?
May have been. It was Vapor Snag.
It's almost
just
worse.
as good,
That's just brutal.
It really is. And Andrew Tenjum in with Insectile Aberration. Greg to 17.
All right, and Greg going to go up the chain here a little bit, I imagine. And got to see what his options are. Doesn't look like he has any red mana. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and sacrifice the Strangler Geist. It'll come back. He's going to search his library and presumably find a Blade Splicer.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only 3-drop he has available besides
Priest of Urabrask. I mean, he doesn't have access to red mana right now, and he does have multiple copies of Huntmaster of Fellas in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be that unreasonable if he had just tapped the Absence Pilgrim to activate the Birthing Pod, got a Priest of Urabrask, and then tapped the Razor Ridge Thicket for green and cast Huntmaster.
What was that?
It was Vapor Snag.
Okay.
So Thought Scour gets rid of an island and a Geist of Saint Draft. And I mean, this game, Gray is just, gangbusters.
Yeah, and the turn 1 Delver flipping on turn 2 doesn't look so great when you're facing down that sort of board on the other side.
Now, when Andrew Tenjum looks at top 3 cards and he has third land, Snapcaster Mage, Mana Leak, and he's thinking about shipping it, other player's deck has to be pretty insane.
Yeah.
Alright, and in for another 3 from Andrew. Greg already down to 12. Taking a pretty serious beating.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, he's amassing his army, and Andrew's going to have to do something about that, or else it's going to be some big swings. He's already got 7 power worth of guys that he can get in with here. Presumably, Andrew is ready with the Vapor Snag, but...
I think the first thing Greg should do is attack.
He's going to go with a Green Sun Zenith for 2, so he's going to get another Strangleroot Geist.
Seems reasonable enough. Now, the play I like here is to sacrifice the Strangleroot Geist. I wouldn't pay 2 mana for that.
What would you have done? Paid the paid the life and then save the mana for...
I would have paid the life and then sacrificed the Strangleroot Geist, the one that I just got, and I would have...
Gone up to a Blade Splicer?
Well, no, I would have gotten a Priest of Urabrask. And then I would have cast the Huntmaster that's in my hand.
I see.
And then I would have gotten the life back anyway.
I see.
And then...
I like that plan. But
it just
Greg goes
puts
with
more guys on the table.
Greg goes with just paying the mana for Birthing Pod, gets a Hell Rider, but the Hell Rider gets bounced by a Vapor Snag from Andrew, and Andrew takes a reasonably large hit anyway, down to 9.
Yeah, now there's this Hell Rider stranded in Greg's hand because it's this double red spell.
Yeah, I mean that's...
Although actually, Greg can just
sacrifice, get the Priest.
Yes. Gets Priest.
And I think that's his line at this point. Like, I would
probably just wins the game for him.
Think that would work pretty well. Andrew may be aware of that, and that's exactly what he's trying to stop. So, Andrew gonna get in for 3, knock Greg to 8.
Greg is
but that's
8.
Still another 3 turns before Andrew can win with what he's got on board. Phantasmal Image, copying the big Strangleroot Geist.
Yeah, and Andrew just dies. He's done on board.
Yeah, he's gonna take...
Yeah, Greg can just sacrifice the Strangleroot Geist, get Priest of Urabrask, cast Hell Rider, and kill Andrew. The game's over. That's if Priest of Urabrask is still in Greg's deck.
Oh, Zealous Conscripts. So he's just getting rid of the Phantasmal.
I guess it's lethal anyway.
kind of weird. So it's going to come back. It has Undying. That's kind of an odd choice. So yeah, he targets it. As soon as it's targeted, it's destroyed. It has Undying. Comes back. He's gonna copy the Zealous conscripts and steal one of Greg's guys. I mean, doesn't that sound right?
Yep, that sounds right.
Whoops.
That turn could have gone a little bit better for Greg.
Yeah, not quite what we expected. I mean, maybe he doesn't have the priest.
Well, I mean, he could have just Zealous conscripts and taken the insectile aberration.
Well, right. I'm just saying maybe he couldn't do the line we thought, but maybe, yeah, he certainly could have done it a little differently. So now, he steals the Zealous conscripts. So he copied the Zealous conscripts, stole the Zealous conscripts, and Greg declines to attack.
Yeah, I mean, you can't attack after that happens.
Right. It kind of ended up being says 5 mana 3/3. It really didn't do all that much. And now Andrew has a 4/4 Zealous conscripts.
Yeah, that definitely could have gone better for Greg. Yeah, if he just takes the Delver, he wins too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He takes the Delver and just attacks everybody.
Right.
His opponent only has 1 blocker. His opponent can block 3. Still takes, still takes more than 9, so. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. If Andrew can't kill Greg this turn.
Yeah, he's probably in for it next turn. So.
Yeah, because Greg next turn has the uncounterable Inferno Titan. Generally a pretty good thing to have.
All right, Andrew knocks Greg to 5 with the insectile aberration. And Andrew just trying to figure out how he can best defend himself here from that forward position, but I don't think. I mean, if Greg has Priest of Urabrask, Andrew's absolutely dead.
Yeah, and I don't. He doesn't need anything at this point. He can.
He's only got 1 Hell Rider though, where he can't like birthing pot up another.
I think you're Greg. You just sacrifice Zealous conscripts and go to Inferno Titan.
Yeah, so that's
the childproof play.
Right. So yeah, that's
no
what
matter
he's doing.
what happens when you do that, you just win.
So
like 2 to the insectile aberration, 1 to the phantasmal image,
and then yeah. In fact, maybe not even kill the Delver. Just 2 to Andrew's face could work too, because obviously Delver can't block.
Yeah, and then you could just lose to like a Vapor Snag play, like a double Vapor Snag or something. So
yeah.
This way there's.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's lethal if Andrew doesn't have it.
It's exactly 9.
Yeah. He's going to Snapcaster Vapor Snag. These multiple Snapcasters. So. Yep. Going to have to Vapor Snag that Golem. Use his Snapcaster Mage to trade with the Strangler Geist. And he only goes to 6. He's actually
It's a pretty nice fog.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly as foggy as you want it to be, but it's sort of foggy. It was what?
Partially cloudy.
It was like patchy fog, kind of.
Yeah.
Like some of the guys got through, but some of them got lost. Like fell
Craig
into,
somehow took 1 in the process.
Yeah. Like, one of the guys just got totally turned around and attacked his summoner.
All right, so Golem token gets bounced by Andrew, and it's an opportunity to trade with the Strangler Geist. Or maybe he'll just take it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Andrew can do to maybe
Steal this game?
Yeah, because he's got Phantasmal Image for Inferno Titan to knock Greg to 2. But the problem is he needs to get in for that too.
Yeah, so I mean, if he draws a Vapor Snag,
yeah,
he can just win, right?
Yeah, he could.
All right.
He doesn't have any. That's if he doesn't have Vapor Snag in hand, which I don't think he does. But
just 2 turns ago, Greg had this game won, but slight miscalculation.
Could, yeah, but it's still up for. So he blocks. Okay, well, which is fine, I guess. Because that Snapcaster.
Yeah, the Vapor Snag still wins in the game because Greg's at 4. So.
No, he didn't draw a Vapor Snag. But he does have Gitaxian Probe. I believe he may have double Gitaxian Probe. He also has Snapcaster, I think, in hand. So he has Snapcaster Vapor Snag, but then he can't Phantasmal Image the Inferno Titan.
Yeah, so it looks like he just has to Gitaxian Probe and look for a Vapor Snag at this point.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. This is a tight one.
Yeah.
And we see Greg's hand there.
Yeah, he's a Hell Rider, Huntmaster of the Fells, and an Oblivion Ring.
Lorwyn Oblivion Ring. Love it. Draws a Gitaxian Probe, but he can't keep paying life because he's only at 4. He can only do it like one more time.
Yeah.
He can't probe twice unless he's prepared to pay mana, and he doesn't have enough mana to go Phantasmal Image Vapor Snag. So he's got to think, is there another way out of this? I mean, he has to get a Vapor Snag. He can Snapcaster Vapor. That's not going to work. He can't Snapcaster Vapor Snag. He's to the point where all it's going to take is that Hell Rider that Inferno Titan to attack to kill him, because yeah, he's got to pay life for the Gitaxian Probe. I mean, you gotta do it. And if that top card of his deck is Vapor Snag, he's got the game won. And it is a secret card, and it is not Vapor Snag, but it's a land.
An island,
so that he can Gitaxian Probe again, triple probe. So that looks like the plan here. He's got Snapcaster, Phantasmal Image. Whew, this is actually pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Like, he just keeps going. Gitaxian Probe, that's the 3rd one this turn. 3 consecutive Gitaxian Probes. Draws Glacial Fortress, and I think that means
he's probably going to
Greg has this game.
By 1 life.
Yeah, really, by one.
Last turn, Greg could have, instead of attacking with that Avacyn's Pilgrim, could have used that Avacyn's Pilgrim to cast a Huntmaster of the Fells. Put himself out of range for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know that he realized how close it was. He never saw the Phantasmal Image that was going to knock him to 1. Yeah. Because Andrew had no reason to cast it.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to think if there was another. If you back up to that last turn, is there a way for Andrew to have won that? But I don't think. Because I'm like, what if he didn't block with the Snapcaster? But that Snapcaster was just not getting in. So, well, if he didn't block with Snapcaster, he wouldn't have had as much life to probe with. But he also would have given himself another out in Faith's Shield, because he could have given the Snapcaster Pro red and would have gotten in with it. But either way, he didn't draw Faith's Shield either, so it wouldn't have worked out either. So, very, very tight match there, or very tight game there. So we're in Game 3 here.
Kind of a crazy one.
In Star City Games Madison, and I like that. I like those really tight situations.
Yeah, where Greg essentially at 1 there at the end.
Yeah. He doesn't know it until now when he's watching the replay. And that was for future Greg.
Future Greg?
Future Greg now knows.
You had no idea how close you were to dying.
Unless Andrew told him. I had a Phantasmal Image to knock in 1.
Yeah. Afterward.
Yeah.
And he may not want to tell him that.
Right, not at this point.
Right,
maybe
right
after Game 3.
You don't want to put it in his head that, this is something that can happen.
Could have happened, yeah.
Because you definitely, I don't know about you, but I've definitely had many matches where the game was almost over, and I cast like a Thought Seize effect or something like that, and I saw my opponent's hand and realized that like even though I didn't think the game was close at all, I thought that I was just going to that I was just crushing my opponent. It turned out the game was incredibly close, and I just had no idea.
Right.
And then in the next game, I like ended up playing around every single thing that could have happened in the first game.
So that's the final. Did you see the two players? Okay. Just thought I'd tell you in case you didn't see. So,
wow. That's so.
The Orioles won last night.
The Orioles won last night. Yeah.
Tied for the best record in baseball, which is just very strange.
Oh, the Orioles? Really?
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Jeez, that's kind of crazy.
It's a miracle.
Ponder
from Andrew Tenjum
leads things off with a ponder. He sees a sort of feast and famine of land, and did you see what that last card was?
I didn't. No. Wait a second.
Maybe Phantasmal Image?
Sort of feast and famine. I'm pretty sure I saw a sort of feast and famine.
I definitely sort of feast and famine.
Yeah. Well, Rootbound Crag from Greg comes in play tapped.
Yeah. Now, an Absence Pilgrim for turn 2, and a Bird's Paradise, and that's it's pretty explosive. There are a lot of things that he can do here.
Yeah, Andrew does not have the turn 1 Delver that he's come to rely on in this match so far.
He does, however, Consecrated Sphinx in his hand, which is an incredible card in this matchup.
Yeah, I can imagine how good that'll be if he can get it into play. So Snapcaster Mage, Ponder number 2, and Andrew sees 3 cards that we can't see. We need some camera angles that are angled towards the player's decks. I saw a Glacial Fortress. That's about as much as I saw. So, and I think that's what he drew.
Yeah, that's what he drew there.
So he's got Phantasmal Image, Glacial Fortress, Consecrated Sphinx. Not quite sure what else. All right, so Greg, a lot of potential options here. He's got a Blade Splicer in hand. He's going to go with Strangle Rootgeist, attack, knock Andrew to 18. Now he can.
Post combat, he'll resolve.
Yeah.
Blade Splicer.
Blade Splicer. Yeah.
Very nice.
And pass back. So Greg building his army.
That's quite an impressive army.
It really is. It's kind of classic. You see, the blue deck with just like one dude, and you're like, how does the blue deck ever win against all these guys? Not only does
I'm pretty sure the blue deck's like probably ahead right now, though.
I know, it's crazy, but I love it. That's what I love about blue. It's deceptively powerful. Although everybody knows it's deceptively powerful, so it's not so deceptive.
Because here, Andrew can just Phantasmal Image the Blade Splicer and then like use a bounce spell.
Looks like that may be
get rid of his opponent's Golem.
His plan.
And
here.
Suddenly he's ahead on the board.
Right. Nice army. I think I'll recruit some Blade Splicers of my own. He's flipping those 2 cards back and forth. He's tapped 2 islands, and
those seem to be the cards that he's looking at, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So copy your Blade Splicer.
He gets a Golem token.
Get me a beast. Pass back.
There are a lot of things that could happen here. If Greg is one of his 6 drops, I don't think Andrew has a Mana Leak in hand. It's going to be really bad for Andrew, but Greg doesn't know that, of course. So.
Yeah, looks like Greg's going with a Birthing Pod.
Yeah, and he does have the mana to pay for Mana Leak with that. Andrew's going to be forced to just let that resolve.
Yeah, and Greg takes 2 from his Birthing Pod Phyrexian mana. So, just an update on the other match. Actually, Mason Lang has taken that match 2-0 versus Adolfo Rayon in the red-green mirror. So Mason Lang going to face off against either Greg or Andrew here. And Viridian Corruptor from Greg makes it so Andrew's Golem token is destroyed.
Yeah, but it's also important to remember that even though it makes sure that Andrew's Golem gets destroyed, at the same time, he just took his out of his deck for that sort of Feast and Famine that's in his opponent's hand.
You know what it also did is give Andrew an opportunity to destroy Greg's Birthing Pod with a Phantasmal Image.
Yep.
So
yeah, Viridian Corruptor is normally saved for an unanswerable sword.
Yeah. A 3/3.
So it's really going to take the game over. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, you know, now that
because I mean, that could have just been like a Huntmaster that fills from the Blade Splicer, and wouldn't that just be better? Huntmaster that fills, or like a Hell Rider.
If I have that many guys, I'm not too afraid of a 3/3 on the other side. A 3/3 ground guy. You know, it is a first strike though.
That's true.
But so I guess that is a pretty nice wall for Andrew. So Greg just trying to go on the offensive here. So Andrew's gonna bounce Greg's Blade Splicer,
and that should
here during combat, making it so
ring bells in his head.
Yeah,
the sort of Feast of Famine is coming. Why would he bounce this one? I don't understand.
And Andrew has his 5th land. Now Greg will have no blockers for the Snapcaster with a Sword of Feast and Famine. So Snapcaster picks up the fresh sword in addition to his Mega Man arm.
And Greg's going to fall down to 12 here. Andrew's going to get to untap all this stuff. Greg's going to have to discard a card.
What is Greg discarding? He is thinking, this card. Yeah, there goes a, is that Hell Rider? Well, Pillar of Flame.
Yeah, that's actually pretty surprising. That hasn't seen...
He hasn't already cast it, yeah. So there's that second Phantasma. Is he going to get the Birthing? Yeah, look. There's the copy your Viridian Corruptor, destroy your Birthing Pod. And Andrew has
just like that
really swung this game around. But, you know, Greg's still got a heck of an army there, and Andrew is at 12 for right now. Greg attacking with Viridian Corruptor, Golem token, and an Undead Strangleroot Geist.
Yeah, now, I think Andrew has Snapcaster, so you can just Snapcaster Vapor Snag. Pretty good here.
Yeah, he does have Snapcaster, and that's, it looks to be part of his plan. He could also trade Corruptors and trade his he could chump block Blade Splicer, or chump block with his Blade Splicer. No, he's just gonna go with, so he's gonna let the Viridian Corruptor in. He's blocking chump block the Golem token and
taking a couple of infect damage.
Yeah, so he let the Viridian Corruptor in. I was trying to figure out which Phantasmal Image was which. I think he just chump blocked the Blade Splicer, chump blocked the Golem, I think. There, so.
Yeah, and another Golem token, and another Blade Splicer for Greg Pino, so.
Yeah, so Greg with double Blade Splicer.
Another Golem.
And getting
so many Golems. Suddenly that sword looks like it's going to have trouble hitting.
What's up with his Golem tokens? The ones are yellow and the other... like, I was wondering why they look kind of yellow.
It looks like they have like that coat of pollen on them. That
yeah.
This time of year, you know,
somebody left them on their car windshield or something.
Yeah.
So a Vapor Snag for the clear-looking Golem from Andrew, and just so he goes Snapcaster Vapor Snag at the end of Greg's turn, and you know, Greg trying to build a wall for that to deal with that sort of Feast and Famine. Right now, just so. Andrew now casts Consecrated Sphinx.
And
now
Greg's going to have
every
some trouble.
turn, Andrew is just casting Haymaker after Haymaker, sort of Feast and Famine last turn, Consecrated Sphinx this turn. Andrew empty-handed draws 2 during Greg's draw step. You know, Greg successfully holds off the Sword of Feast and Famine. Now what's he going to do about the Sphinx?
I believe he has a Green Sun Zenith in hand. Don't think he has access to like Stinger Fling Spider or anything like that.
No, he does not.
I know a lot of these decks played that for a while.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't
they did
have
back.
That. Back when people played.
They played Niapod and yeah. When blue-black control was
that reason.
Yeah, it was exactly 4 Consecrated Sphinx because there was another answer. So this is like last year, like Nationals. Because I mean, Ali won Nationals with a blue-black control deck, which I believe had Consecrated Sphinx in it. If you know, it was right around that time. I know it had Grave Titan in it as well. I'm not sure about the Consecrated Sphinx, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty confident that is. All right, so Green Sun Zenith for 4 from Greg. Is he going to copy Consecrated Sphinx? He can't, because he can't search for Phyrexian Metamorph with Green Sun Zenith.
I think he gets
going to go with
Hellrider?
He goes with Huntman. He can't get Hellrider either, Green Sun Zenith.
Oh, yeah.
I know, it's like Birthing Pod. You think in the tutors, you're like, Birthing Pod can get this, but Green Sun Zenith can't.
It's confusing when it's Green Sun Zenith and Birthing Pod constantly happening.
Yeah. Oh, he has sleeves for his Golem tokens, and that's what that must be, the fact that it's yellow, because he just pulled a wolf out of the back of the Golem, so never seen that happen before. So Huntmaster of the Fells from Greg adds another token to the board, this time in the form of a Spirit Wolf. Well, probably just a regular wolf, but it's a spirit on a token. So Andrew now is going to get Taxian Probe. Sees Forest in Greg's hand. Greg with all his powers on the board. Andrew draws Vapor Snag, has Geist of St. Traft, Vapor Snag in hand. So he can. He's going to move the sword to the Sphinx. To the Sphinx.
Yep, and then he can start getting in there.
Looks like he's going to cast the Geist of St. Traft. Attack with Sphinx. Gets in for 6. Discard your forest. Untap all my lands. Potentially move that sword.
Now, on Greg's turn, can't he just attack with everything? Oh, Andrew just drew a Vapor Snag.
Andrew already had 1 Vapor Snag.
In hand?
Yeah. He had Vapor Snag Geist, and he cast the Geist. Okay. He's got Mana Leak. He's got Mana Leak, Vapor Snag something. What is that? Moorland Haunt?
Yeah, it looks like Moorland Haunt.
Yeah, I think it is. So
you can block 3 things.
And bounce 1.
3. So take those out, then 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. If Greg had a Hellrider in hand, then he could win.
That would be quite the top deck here, but he doesn't have. He's only got 1 card in hand because he had to discard his forest. He wouldn't have enough to pay for Mana Leak, right? If he played Hellrider, I can only see 6 available mana, so it would just be Mana Leaked. Yeah. So it looks like Greg is gonna attack with a Golem and a Wolf. Greg at 8. That's precarious. Because Andrew's just gonna bounce that bird and win. You know what I mean? Because he's going to win with the Angel. He's going to attack with Geist, and Angel and Sphinx are going to get in.
Yeah, I mean
I don't see. So yeah, is this end of Greg's turn? Presumably bounce your
Greg
bird.
Has a
He's gonna bounce the bird. Yeah, and then attack with Geist and Sphinx. Oh wait. Okay, he's going to bounce the Huntmaster. I'm not even sure why that was necessary. Oh, because Greg. Greg didn't. Greg didn't cast any spells, so he didn't want to. Well, Geist has hexproof.
Still lethal.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to do that. Does he have Snapcaster, or does he have another Vapor Snag? Because he could have just bounced the bird and won there, right? Am I crazy?
You're right. So I guess it's
unless there's
another
something. Maybe is there another bird off camera? Can we just get a zoom just in case? I'm just wondering if we're missing something off camera up to the top of the screen where Greg has bird and Avison's pilgrim. No, just one bird. So I think Vapor Snag on bird would have done it. Because he can't block the Sphinx and he wouldn't be able to block the Angel, and that would have been what, 10 damage.
I think Greg's gonna get a 1 here from this tech. Yeah.
So
Greg goes down to 1.
Yeah, Andrew could have just thrown away the game. I think he's still in a strong position, but that was certainly an opportunity to win.
Yeah, at this point, once you have the Consecrated Sphinx and the Sword of War and Peace, you can play against the Knight.
It's pretty rough anyway, but
pretty good.
All right, so he draws Vapor Snag, so he's going to have a second opportunity to bounce the bird and win. It doesn't matter now. Greg at 1. Actually, Andrew, just Vapor Snag something.
Yeah. He's just like,
just stop, Vapor Snag. You're dead. That's it, right? I mean,
he's at 1. This is just. No, I mean it's fine. So yesterday, I think.
Okay, look, I have a Vapor Snag. I'm not going to bounce one of my guys. I'm going to bounce one of your guys. You're going to take 1. You're at 1. Because there's no reason to continue here. There's nothing Greg can do. What's the discussion? Unless they're just already, you know.
Oh, you can't do it. You need to get priority first. It's like, all right, 2 pass priority.
Right. This is a long discussion. Greg's like, I'm not ready yet. Just wait.
Let's just hang out for a little bit.
He's like, all right, something. Well, that was a slow roll Vapor Snag, unless he already told him that. I don't know what that was all about at the end there. Like, as soon as, I mean, to me, I'm like, as soon as I top deck it, I'm like, oh, I just do Vapor Snag.